Hi, I'm Cyrus the Skeptic, and you're watching Atheist Edge.
Okay, so the title of this is Hasidic Jews Fighting Over Rabbi's Blessed Holy Sugar Cubes.
So I'll be honest, I have absolutely no idea what was supposed to be. So do you happen to know like exactly what was supposed to be?
I have no more context than you do, except that this rabbi apparently was in a position of authority. He's anointing some sugar cubes, and these guys are waiting patiently.
Jetzt hab hem! Drebbe wird sein. Jeder soll weggehen. Jeder soll weggehen. Ein guter Leib. Geht's weg! Einer noch vom Mord, ich stick er auf.
But at some point in the ceremony, they thought all the dams of Hades had broken open, and they just started grabbing.
I mean,
what does it say to you?
I mean, there's very similar things going on in all kinds of religions across the spectrum. I mean, think about like medieval Christianity, its obsession with relics and pieces of the true cross and various foreskins from various saints kept in cathedrals and venerated.
It's true. They're still there.
And a number of, or even like more, I don't know, shamanistic religions that have like magical totems that are imparted with some sort of power or substance to make things happen. I mean, there's...
I've heard that if you took every splinter that's being displayed right now on Earth that is supposedly from the crucifix, the original crucifix, if you put them all together and made a cross out of it, it'd be 500 foot tall.
Isn't there a gospel that has a giant a non-canonical gospel with a giant cross in it?
It's on your screen right now, and I'm gonna guess. Let me guess.
I want to
say Peter. Gospel of Thomas. Gospel of Peter. It's one of those two. It's on your screen right now, and it's this cross that can talk, and it reaches to the clouds, and Jesus is just as tall, and they're having this. You guys, are you? It's a apocryphal gospel. There's only 4 gospels in the Bible. You know there's 60 gospels. Only 4 made it in the book. And there's all these gospels with, magi getting in fights with early Christians, and they're one is wielding the magic of God, and one is wielding demonic forces, and they're levitating above the cathedral and shooting fire bolts at each other.
Now, be honest, that was just an anime you watched, wasn't it?
No. In fact, if I can find it, it'll be on here too. There's something with the magi, and they get a magician and a disciple, a follower of God, get into some magic battle. It's not the Moses serpent snake Pharaoh thing. It's a different one. It's non-canonical, and they're levitating high in this cathedral and shooting shit at each other.
I see, why couldn't that be in the Bible instead of like, doubt. Oh, look, I made more fish. Oh my God, that's not how you bring the kids back to church. Look, Christians, you're losing members. Okay, it's time to bring in some new gospels.
Yeah, some Marvel. Get the Marvel universe in there. Give him some reals. Patton Oswalt said, Jesus, he's got superpowers, but they're random. They're all over the place. First, he's got awesome superpowers. He can bring people back from the dead.
Jesus' superpowers alone are so crazy. They don't even, look, I'm not saying that they're bad. They're just so random. He has the most random, like on the one hand, he's got the necromancer powers, where he can drive away demons and raise the dead. Oh, wow, awesome. And then over here, he can take a little bit of food and make it into a lot of food. What?
But then all of a sudden, oh, I can make you a sandwich. I can make 5,000 sandwiches for you guys. I mean, what? I mean, his powers are all over the place.
He's like
He goes from 5,000 sandwiches to appearing on toast. That's his transition.
all my powers are bread based.
Now all my powers will be toast.
Point. We've gone from Hasidic Jews fighting over sugar cubes to superheroes.
Oh, I said the
I don't know
sandwiches.
how far removed we can get from it.
I think maybe this was kind of point out, man, you guys, we take a huge dump on Christianity and sometimes Islam, but we don't give the Jews the respect they deserve or the attention they deserve.
Yeah. Those Jews, they've had it too good for too long.
You know what? I think people are a little wary of talking about Judaism because there's this thing with, who's the guy with Sam Harris that wanted to tell Sam Harris, oh, it was Ben Affleck. Do you remember that interview on Bill Maher?
That I don't.
Okay, well, here comes a clip. Boom, there's your clip.
Even it gets
So hold on, are
racist.
you the person who understands the officially codified doctrine of Islam? You're the interpreter of that, so you can say, well, this is.
I'm actually well educated on this topic.
I'm asking you
about
because
this
it's gross. It's racist.
It's not. But it's so not.
It's like saying
It's
those
so not.
stateless, shifty Jew.
You're not listening.
No,
Ben, we have to be able to criticize bad ideas. And
of course we do. No liberal doesn't want to criticize bad
But
ideas.
Islam
But
at
why
this moment
would-
is the motherlode of bad ideas.
Jesus
So we have
That's
ideas
just a
like
fact.
blasphemy.
Wait a second.
Things, and you painting the whole group religion with that. same brush.
Let's get down to who has the right answer here. 1 billion people, you say. All these billion people don't hold any of these.
1,500,000 or something.
Don't hold these pernicious beliefs.
No,
I would.
no, they don't.
That's just not true, Ben.
Just imagine some concentric circles here. You have at the center, you have jihadists. These are people who wake up in the morning wanting to kill apostates, wanting to die trying. They believe in paradise. They
Horrible, bad
believe
people
in martyrdom. Outside of them, we have Islamists. These are people who are just as convinced of martyrdom and paradise and wanting to foist their religion on the rest of humanity, but they want to work within the system. They're not going to blow themselves up on a bus. They want to change governments. They want to use democracy against itself. Those two circles arguably are 20% of the Muslim world. Okay. So to give you one point of contact, 78% of British Muslims think that the Danish cartoonist should have been prosecuted. 78%. So I'm being conservative when I roll this back to 20%.
Okay, so that was Bill Maher. That was Sam Harris and Ben Affleck on Bill Maher. Ben Affleck tried to jump down Sam Harris's throat saying, what you are saying is racist. That is gross and it's racist. Ben Affleck tried to equate Islam with race.
Okay.
Sam patiently tried to explain to him, Islam's not a race. If I'm talking about Islam as an ideology, it's fair game. I can bash it as much as I want. I can mock it till the day is done. Same as Christianity. And Ben would not, his tiny little mind could not understand that. And I think the same thing is with Judaism here. The reason many atheist YouTube channels don't address Judaism is because they don't want to look racist. Because when you talk about Judaism, you're talking about Jews. And if you're talking negatively about Jews, what do you look like? Godwin's Law, what? You look like neo-Nazis.
Nazi. Well, it's hard. It's very difficult, especially because if someone says I am a Jew, okay, you're talking about your ethnicity, or you're talking about your religion, because there's multiple things there.
I acknowledge one of those. And, well, I acknowledge both, but I have a dispute with your Jewishness as a ethnicity, but that's a side point. I think you are from the Levant area, that your cultural heritage comes from the Levant or from, what is now Israel. It's a cultural, okay, go ahead, TJ.
Yeah, no, I agree with Jim. I think it's a quasi-ethnic distinction. You can say Canaan, right? Like you can say Canaan, but you're not necessarily nailing down a particular, genetic lineage.
Well,
when you're talking about that.
Well, the muddiness of those waters was kind of my point.
Yeah.
And like we all agree that anti-Semitism is a problem and shouldn't be tolerated. But when you have so much, but it makes it very hard to criticize, say, the
Talmud,
certain practices of the Jewish religion,
the Talmud,
without
the
someone
Torah,
taking it like you're criticizing the Jewish people.
Right.
Or if you're criticizing actions taken by the nation of Israel, with also someone taking it like you're criticizing the Jewish people.
I didn't think of that. That's good. But if you're looking at the ideologies, the fundamental ideologies of Judaism, the Talmud, the Torah, if you're waving a dead chicken over your head and blessing sugar cubes and sucking foreskins off of toddlers, we've got problems. And I'm going to call it out. And you can call me a racist all day. So here we are talking about Judaism. Anyway, yes, TJ.
I would say that probably a big reason why we tend to tiptoe around Islam and Judaism, just because those are two very recognized religions, and we have a significant subculture or subpopulation in the United States of those religions, and since they are a minority in those sub-distinctions, we tend, as atheists, we tend to superbly identify with people who are on the outs as far as what's considered mainstream. But we tend to think of them as marginalized groups. That's why I think a lot of atheists tend to jump on the bandwagon of defending.
But the point being made is that Jews, Muslims, and atheists are all minority groups, and therefore we have that commonality, I suppose. But also kind of related to that, Jews, Muslims don't affect my life, our lives, nearly as much as Christianity. So I'm going to spend way more time critiquing Christianity until such time as that changes.
But it doesn't hurt to give them a little attention when they're blessing sugar cubes, though, right?
Oh yeah, that's weird shit.
Okay, final thoughts?
I've pretty much said all I think I can say about that.
Judaism, so for those of you in the comment section, why do you got to pick on only Christianity? There you go.
Hey, all religions
You're welcome.
are weird.
You're
The more
welcome.
you know.
All right, thank you.